worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
Welcome. Let me mute this because I got the audio going on my phone. We're on Instagram Live. This is our May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th, Car Questions and Answers live stream. I am your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. You may see these broadcasts throughout the week on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. But whenever you don't see the banner above me, that means you're watching one of our live shows, so you guys can start typing your questions. If you don't know me, my name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. Let's get the quick housekeeping out of the way before we start bringing in questions. I've been in the auto industry since 2006. I left in 2020 after the pandemic. Since then, we've been focused on car shopping education, teaching you how to get the low market prices on your leases, your new cars, and your used cars by bidding and looking at multiple offers, making dealers and banks bid for your business versus how you've traditionally shopped. So that is what we do. I'm also the author of the pretty much 5-star rated digital book. It's called Cars from Home, and we're currently rated 4.94, goodreads.com. Just want to get the housekeeping out the way for those of you who don't know me. For some of you who've been on the show before on the stream, welcome back. But for those of you who don't know me, this is my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. You can get your copy for 75% off the normal price by going to my Instagram bio, the TikTok bio, or if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can actually scan this QR code, Facebook or YouTube. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to Deshone'sBook.com. We have a link in the comments for you. Lastly, I am the host of the masterclass, Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. Some of you have asked, I share a lot of people who are using these strategies throughout the broadcast. Some of them are people who have my book. Some of them are people who attended my free masterclass, and some of them are in my car shopping school, Maps Academy. So either way, you guys can get anything you need from me in the bios or in the comment section. So let's get started, Dolan. You can bring in the first question. This is May 7th. So if you're just getting on, we are live on all 4 platforms, May 7th, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And you can share this with your friends. Tyler from TikTok, how are you? How does gap insurance work on a lease? Great question. Gap insurance covers the amount that you owe if, God forbid, the vehicle is totaled or stolen and they don't find it. So let's just say the car is only worth $40,000, but the actual cash value if the vehicle gets totaled is, $35,000. So if the insurance company is only going to pay out $35,000, the gap insurance would kick in and cover the remaining gap. So now most leases include gap insurance, but you never want to assume that the lease includes gap insurance. Whenever you are getting your offers from dealers, when you're getting your offers, you always want to make sure that you ask for them to include gap insurance. But yeah, that's the way it works. You want to make sure 99% of leases have gap, but you don't want to make that assumption. Always ask when you're getting your quotes that the gap insurance be included. All right, great question. Go ahead, Dolan. Next one. All right, keep sending your questions, y'all. I see you on Instagram. Those of you who are on Instagram, you click that thing that looks like a paper plane, and you can actually see that you can easily invite a couple of your closest friends to the broadcast just so they know about this information when they need it. Because 1 in 5 people are shopping for a car at any given time. So 5 people in a group, 1 of them is going to be shopping for a car, and we want to make sure you guys have the knowledge you need. Go ahead, Dolan. Guys, make sure you are typing your questions all in one question. Try to get it all in one question. What's up, Instagram? This one says new car parts are hard to replace. The dealership wants old cars back. Anybody who's in the business of buying cars wants cars. So it's not just the dealerships, it's the online buyers, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana. They want cars. Local people who buy and sell cars, they want cars. Wholesalers who buy cars to sell to dealerships, they want cars. If you get what I'm saying, you understand why you need to be making people compete. See, we take one buyer. That's what you've been taught to do. You've been taught to take one buyer, one person who wants your business, and give them the opportunity to negotiate. What we teach is for you to actually go to multiple people who want that business and make them compete. And that's how we make sure we get below market prices, because we in order to get below market prices, you must see enough offers to know the market. I'm gonna say that again. In order to get below market prices, you have to know you've seen enough offers to where you know the market. Could y'all keep running up the likes on TikTok? Every time we say something that you like, if you could just tap the screen, it runs the likes up and it gets a lot of people's attention on TikTok. Let them know they need to be here. Okay, so that's what you want. Everyone wants cars back. So you want to make sure no matter where the market's going, electric cars, old cars, new cars, luxury cars, just make sure you are getting at least 5 to 6 offers every time you want to replace a car. We don't trade in cars because you are not going to get the money you could get trading cars. Now, I'm not talking to you about doing private sales either, where you list the car and then you go and you got to, have people come to your house in Facebook Marketplace. I'm talking about the people who pay cash money, inspect the car in an hour and a half, and cut you a check. Those are the people we need to get 5 to 6 bids from, and that's what we teach. Those companies are very easy to find and very easy to work with. Okay, who's traded a car before? If you've ever traded a car before, type the letter T. All right, stay by your phone, y'all. This is live. This is May 7th. This is our 12 p.m. class, so stay by your phone. I want you to make sure we don't just talk here, we dialogue. All right, in order for you to get the most out of the show and for me to continue to do them, you want to make sure you as close to your keyboard so I know you're actually getting value out of the class, out of the stream, because you're communicating, engaging versus just listening. All right, I'll see you, Bell, on YouTube. Anybody who's traded a car before, type the letter T. If you've traded a car, this is important for you to know. It's almost impossible. I see you, Thomas, on Facebook. It's almost impossible, ML Headley, to get the most money for anything, not just a car, for any item on trade. So we don't trade. We don't trade. You're not going to get the most money, and you're not going to know that you got the best offer. You need to get 5 to 6 of these online offers, and that is how you replace your leases. And in the same way, look, you've left money on the table. Some of you know, I got to tell you the bad news first. Anybody who's traded a car since the internet and online car buyers have been invented, you've left money on the table. So I want you to stop. I'm suggesting you stop doing that right now if you really want to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 more every time you replace your cars. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. Jock from TikTok. How can I get rid of negative equity with a lease? First of all, let's talk about why do you have negative equity. This is improper deal structure. So if you went over your mileage, that means listen, you should not be taking a lease for 10,000 miles per year knowing you drive 15. Because frankly, to go from 10,000 a year to 15,000 a year is only about $40 for most cars. $40 more a month, and you get to go from 10,000 to 15,000 miles per year. So it's no excuse that, taking less miles than you need and then having to deal with mileage penalties that you shouldn't have had in the first place. So we see. So our solution for negative equity is to always in most cases to roll it into a lease, because the cause usually for negative equity is you buy your cars. Somebody told you don't lease, you listen to them, but you don't keep your cars long enough to outlive the depreciation. So you buy your cars and you replace them, usually by trade, in a short period of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, and that's too short of a period of time to replace a car because of the depreciation. But with a lease, you should not have negative equity. Negative equity is something, you have a penalty because you don't owe. Negative equity means the object you owe a loan on is not worth that. So you owe 20,000, but the car is only worth 15,000. In your case, you have agreed to drive 30,000 miles over 3 years, but you're driving 40,000 miles. You drove 40. So you need to pay that penalty in order for you to go to the next car. Okay? It should have been in your lease to begin with because you pay less for it if it's in your lease. You pay probably 15 cents a mile. Where on a penalty, you're going to pay 25 cents a mile in a lot of cases. So what you want to do is you want to consider this. Staying in the car, waiting to the end of the lease, and if whatever your mileage penalty is, rolling it over to the next car as far as work your deal out. This is what I would be doing. One, I would do an equity assessment. Before we even talk about this, you need to do an equity assessment. The equity assessment is step 2 in my process. The name of my book is Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. So it takes you all the way through the journey of getting your car from home while you are at home. So the second step, which is right after we decide whether we're buying or leasing, is we must do an equity assessment. Some of you, who has a car that they're going to be replacing to get a car? Type me. If you have a car, it could be a lease or it could be you own it, but you're going to be, next time you car shop, you're going to be replacing that car. Who's in that situation? Type me. Stay by your keyboards. Let's go. We're live. This is May 7th. Wake up, people. Wake up. School me. All right, me, I see you. All right. What's up? Y'all can we run the lights up on TikTok? Can we tap the screen? Can we tap the screen if y'all gonna spend time with us on TikTok? Tap the screen. All right. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, don't play TikTok. I'll close the broadcast. All right. Y'all not paying me nothing. Okay. So I'm asking you for a tap of the screen if you want to stay on with us. All right. We could definitely go TikTok. We could go Facebook, YouTube, Instagram if y'all acting funny today. We got no problem. All right. I appreciate it. I see y'all now. I see the lights running up. All right. So if you have a car you're going to be replacing, then everybody who just said me, then the first thing, once you decide whether you're buying or leasing, is you need to do an equity assessment. So you're going to call your bank. If you don't have a bank, the car's paid for, then you can skip this step, but you're going to call your bank. You're going to find out what your payoff is. Once you find out what your payoff is, you're going to now, if you have a lease, you're going to ask them, do you have a third-party restriction? Now, once you make a note of those things, that's 4 different paths. See, I just talked to 4 different people. It's very important that y'all understand that I don't teach one size fits all car buying advice. So you got to listen closely to see, oh, is he talking to me? Oh, that's what group I fall in. So I just said, some of you are going to replace a car. You have no money you owe on it. You don't need to call your bank. Everyone else, lease or purchase or finance, you need to call the bank, and then you're going to ask for your payoff. Once you have a lease, you're going to do this next step. So some of you who don't have a lease, you don't have to do this step. Then you're going to ask, do I have a third-party restriction? And you're going to make a note of that. And you're going to put yourself into one of those 4 categories. Okay, this is broken down. This is step 2 in my book. So once you get that information, you're going to go online to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer. Please do not come talking about what Blue Book says. Algorithms in this market mean nothing. The only thing that matters is cash offers. So you're going to go to these people to get your cash offers: CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, Car Guru, Sell My Car, and AutoNation, Sell My Car. That's 6 offers. And once you have those offers, you will know where your equity position is. You will know if you have equity in your vehicle. You will know if you have no equity in your vehicle. If you are leasing, then there is no such thing as negative equity. Because let's say your payoff is $20,000 and your highest offer is $18,000. You don't have negative equity, you don't owe that. That just means when you go to drop off your vehicle, you can't sell it and make money. That's what that means. Now, if you have a mileage penalty like this gentleman may have, that's different. But that's separate from the equity assessment process. You need to know, what is the asset that I'm driving? What is the asset, the car that I have in my possession, worth on the market? And what do I owe on it? And is there equity there? So that is the step you do before you think about shopping and getting offers, because we break our transactions down into 3 categories. Who we buy our car from, we're getting bids. Who we get our loan from, we're getting bids. And who we sell our car to, we're getting bids. So this is very important in our process of how we get below market deals from home. Okay, so do that step, Jock, and that's what and you go from there. Everything I'm talking about is in my new digital book, Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. Shoot the next question in, Dolan. Everyone who wants your copy, you can get it for 30 minutes at 75% off. It's normally $97. So everyone who's gotten this book, and we've gotten close to probably 6,000 people at this point, the book is $97. But when you go to my bio now, or my Instagram or TikTok bio, you can get your copy for 75% off, which would be $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, just check the comments and go to deshonsbook.com. You got 30 minutes to get your 75% off. Okay, Tyler from TikTok, rolled over $14,500 from a trade into a 36-month lease. Payment only $54 a month. Is this a good strategy? Payments only $54 a month? What do you mean by that, Tyler? $54 a month. How could the payments be $54 a month? You need to know how much you're rolling over into the new deal, because let's say, for example, you have $14,000 of negative equity. Just that alone is $400 a month. Just the negative equity. So I'm trying to find out what you mean when you say rolled over 14.5 from a trip. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what you're saying. You are essentially prepaying your whole lease. What he's saying is he's taken all of the car that he is trading, which I just told you how much I'm not a fan of that. But he's now essentially doing a one-pay lease, or you're doing a huge down payment. So this is very important. You could be about to really lose your shirt right here. This could be extremely bad for you. You need to make sure you check what I'm about to say to you. If all of that money is being treated as a cap cost reduction, which is essentially a down payment on a lease, let's just say your payment would normally be, matter of fact, let's do this math real quick. And this is why having a consultant and having an advisor and getting education saves you thousands of dollars. Now, $14,500, you are talking about, if you put that into a payment form, your payment would be $400 a month higher, plus the interest on that, plus the taxes, plus the interest on that. So let's call it $430 plus this $54,000 it's $54 a month. So let's say your payment would have been, without you trading, would have been like $485 a month. So if they're treating all of that as down payment, then here's what's happening. You're just prepaying the lease. So you have no protection. If that vehicle gets totaled, you are out $13,000. You won't be, anything you put into that vehicle, you're out. That money's gone if the vehicle's stolen or totaled. So what it makes more sense to do is to see if there's multiple security deposits that you could put. You need to get your offers, though, with no money out of pocket, because you can't look at one-pay leases and you can't look at multiple security deposits if you don't know what the original deal was without them. So if my payment is $500 a month, and then if I put multiple security deposits down, it lowers it to $450 a month, then that could be a good offer. If it lowers it $20 a month and I got to give them $6,000 to hold, then it doesn't make financial sense. That's not a good return on you holding $6,000. But I'm always comparing it. This is something we teach called advanced leasing strategies. This is not for everybody. So but you need to determine when you're doing a one-pay lease, all you're doing is giving them all of this money up front so they can lower the actual interest on the lease and see what the payment comes out to with the lower interest. So you have to get offers without down payments. This is why I'm saying when we shop, we never shop with down payments, whether we're buying cars or leasing them. We never shop with down payments because when you're putting all this money in, you can't assess the deal because you don't know how much of this being a low payment is because I put all this money down. You need to know you have a deal before you consider what monthly payments is going to be. If I'm getting a lease and I shop my offers and my lease deal is under 1%, or my best offer is under 1%, no more than 1.5, somewhere in between there, I know I have a good deal, regardless of how much I'm going to put down. So, and when it comes to purchasing, I need to know people worry about the payment. Some of you are worried about the payment. You don't care about what you're buying the car for, and you're worried about the wrong thing because you're thinking about the loan you're getting. You're not thinking about the car you're buying. Before you think about, hey, what's a good payment on this car? No, the better question is, who's the dealer that's going to sell me that car for the lowest price? Deshone, I want to get this BMW 4 Series. What's a good payment on that? No, you're going to get a BMW 4 Series. Who's the dealer that's going to sell you that BMW 4 Series for the lowest price? If 20 dealers, if say 10 dealers have that car, $60,000 car, some dealers are going to sell it for 65, some are going to sell it for 60, some are going to sell it for 57. You need to get these offers before you worry about what the payment's going to be. And that's a whole different philosophy. This is what I teach. So I'm never going to be in the business of not teaching you to understand the numbers because we make it simple. Whether you're using my book, whether you're paying attention on these live streams, when you are shopping multiple offers, you eliminate this. You cannot be a payment shopper because you'll just be throwing money at deals and thinking you got a deal, but you didn't get a deal. You just threw so much money at it that it lowered your payment to something that you felt good about. Doesn't mean you didn't overpay for the car. All right? Very, very important, y'all. This is $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 to $10,000 mistakes. These aren't $100 mistakes. Listen, look, people right now are so distracted. They are asleep. They are asleep. The only way people could continue to make money is people stay asleep. It's not so when I tell you the conversation, you are taught to, when you're buying a house, get help. Make sure you have a plan. Work with the best people. Get a home inspection, even if you're not going to buy the house, right? Don't you get a home inspection even if you're not going to buy the house? Don't you risk $400, $600, $800, even if you're not going to buy the house? Why? Because you want to protect yourself from making a $20,000 to $50,000 mistake. But with cars, this is the only thing that you think, oh, I could just do this on my own. Knowing that every time you buy a car, you have a little buyer's remorse. You hope you hope you didn't overpay. You hope you didn't. So lock in. The only way you are going to win and be like these people that I show on the show all the time, like you see just a ton of people that's paying ridiculous prices, below market prices. And I got more to show y'all. Like my next show, I got like 3-4 million people that hit me with their deals they got in the last 2 weeks that I haven't even pulled in yet. Like you're not going to get these prices until you take car buying as serious as you take buying a small house. Once you start doing that, then you'll start saving 5 and 10 and 15 grand on some of these cars. Until then, you're gonna keep just moving the way they want you to move. Go ahead, Dolan. Is there any way to get out of a car with too much negative equity? No. Negative equity is what I call a bad credit for people with good credit. You could have an 800 score. If you have too much negative equity, you're not going anywhere. So the first thing to know is what's the cause. See, we could sit here and we can cure the problem, but until we know the cause, you're just going to go and you're going to repeat the problem. The cause is you're not leasing, but you're not keeping your cars 8 years. So what you're doing is you're losing on depreciation. Your car's value is going like this. You buy your cars, it goes down 15%, 20% the first year, 15%, 12%, 12% is losing thousands of dollars in value for the first 5 years. And then that's when you go to trade it, or that's when you go to replace it. So you don't keep the car long enough for it to start losing a little bit of value because somebody taught you could just switch cars anytime you want. Buy them and switch them, buy them and switch them. This is a depreciating asset, and you're going to lose every time doing that compared to someone who's getting great lease deals. So if you're not, our rule of thumb is if you're not buying your car to keep it at least 8 years, you should be shopping for great lease deals, not purchases. So you need to know the cause. Now, once a lot of you figure that out, that that's true, and you learn that all of this bad structure has cost you, you're going to lease. You're going to say, Deshone, I'm not keeping my car 8 years. I'm leasing my next car. If you don't have too much negative equity, then what you should be doing is trying to cover the difference. So you're going to do that equity assessment process that I laid out about 10, 15 minutes ago. You're going to do that equity assessment process. If you only have a $1,500 to $2,000, $3,000 difference between your best offer and your highest offer, I mean, let's say you owe 20 grand, but somebody's going to offer you 18, then I would pay off the difference all day long because I'm still winning with a bidding system on there. See, when you get bids, even when you have negative equity, that's still you're still getting the most money for the car you can get, which means your negative equity amount is going to be the lowest it can be. So you always want to explore if I could pay the difference between my highest online offer and my negative equity, that's the best. Because once you can't do that, now you eliminate the ability to be able to participate in a bid because you have to trade. This is the only time where we have to trade because you need somebody to finance that negative equity because you can't pay the difference. You don't have the cash to pay off the negative equity. See, if I know that I can cover my negative equity by selling the car to CarMax and I pay $2,000 and I'm out of it, that means now I can get bids for my replacement car, which is what we do. So I can get the lowest bid for the car I'm buying, the highest bid for the car I'm replacing, the lowest bid for my interest if I'm buying. Once I have to trade because I have too much negative equity, I can't do that. I can only get the bid for the car I'm buying, and then I have to ask that dealer to roll my negative equity into the car that I'm buying. And the problem with that is that dealer is not going to win a bid. So even though CarMax may have been offering you 18, that dealer may only be able to offer you 16. So what would have been $2,000 of negative equity is now $4,000 of negative equity. That's why paying the difference is always best if you want to maximize the deal and get below market deals. That's it. But if you have too much negative equity, you can't do that. Now, it's very important that you understand something regarding the car you're replacing your negative equity with, the next car you're going to buy. You can see Sean uses our bidding strategy. He's in our private group. For all of you who want to know about my private groups and you have to attend, there's people who ask me, who are these people? You must attend my masterclass in order to be eligible to be in our educational course. So this is but what it is my book in video form with coaching. So the 7 steps are the same. Those of you who are using the book to get to your goal, use the book. It's just different ways of learning. So anyway, you can see Sean here he got his bids and he found a car that had a $15,000 rebate. He didn't know that, a $15,500 rebate. So if Sean wanted to bring negative equity over to this vehicle, he's buying the car so low with all the rebates, he could bring over 5, 10, 20 grand of negative equity and he's still going to be able to do it. Because as long as you're getting a big discount, you actually can, the bank is not going to lend 25% more than like 25% more of the car's value. So you can't slap 10 grand of negative equity on a $30,000 car. And the bank is going to look and say, why would we lend $40,000 on a car that's worth 30? There's something called loan to value ratios. It's in all forms of lending, loan to value. So you have a cap based on the price of the car. There's only 25% or so more that the bank is going to lend. So if you're trying to do no money down deals, having too much negative equity prevents those. So this is why we need to get out of negative equity and stay out of it and start leasing. Stop buying your cars. The only time you actually switch from a purchase with negative equity, I own my car and then I'm switching to another car and it's a purchase, not a lease, is if you had like an emergency. You were going to keep the car 8-9 years, but you just had a bunch of kids and now you need a whole different car. It's a life, but if you're not keeping the next car 8+ years, you shouldn't be buying again. You're going to be back in negative equity every time. Okay? All right. Go ahead, Dolan. You can shoot the next question. TikTok, I see y'all. We are live. This is May 7th. This is our 12 p.m. Eastern time show. If y'all can, every couple minutes, if you could tap the screen, if you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the stream, keep running the likes up on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. All right. Instagram. My lease on a CX5 is coming up. CarMax value is showing $21,000. My buyout is like $18,000. Should I buy it and keep it? No. Why would you go from a lease with a great, and look, I'm going to talk different on every show because I know some of you are new. Okay? Who's new here? If this is your first time ever on a live broadcast, on a live stream with us, just type the number 1 and then we'll answer the brother's question here. Who's new? All right, I see you, Khaleesi, on TikTok. I see you. If this is your first time on a stream, you've never been on Car Shopping Questions and Answers with us, type new. Okay, I see you, Matt, on Facebook. I see you, Vince, on Facebook. Melanie on YouTube. DJC Square, I see you. Okay, I see you, John, on YouTube. Okay. All right, TikTok quiet today, boy. I never saw TikTok this quiet. They ain't hitting no likes or nothing. That's all right. God bless them. God bless them. All right, so Instagram. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this equity position you're in. Right now, you could sell that lease and make $4,000. Why would you want to go from a lease, which is a not keeping my car 8 years? I want full warranty. I want low payments. I want to drive a lot of car for a low amount of money. Now I can shop for this new deal, get a great deal on the CX5. Just so you know, understand something. CX, look, let me show you something. This was Tiffany rode in, and Tiffany got a Mazda CX50 a couple weeks ago, not too long ago. Look at this. So let me show you just kind of what this could look like in a great world. So you understand, she got a 2024 Mazda CX90. She literally paid the sticker price on it was $44,000. She used our system. She actually wrote, this is a testimonial about the book. So you can see at the top, says, I believe we got a great deal from what we learned from the rest of the book. So look at this. She got bids, $44,800 vehicle. She ended up getting a $6,530 discount. That was her best offer. And then, so her lease payment on this would be incredibly low if there's a good lease program. But you're not going to save this kind of money negotiating. You want to sit at home, get bids, contact at least, we don't make a decision until we get 5 to 7 offers. We will not make a decision on a car until we get 5 to 7 offers because 80% of dealers are overpriced. So you say you can get you might be able to get a lease price on this car for, $400 a month, no money down, for, $450 a month. Something, it might be lower. I don't know what the below market deal on your replacement Mazda is going to be. And then you could actually put that 21.4 in your pocket. So you could say, hey, the difference. So you would sell the car to CarMax for, and you would make $3,400. Just so you know, my mother sold her Mazda 2 years ago when the prices were real high, and she made $10,200. So why would I go from being able to do a deal like that, getting a new car, low payment, no money out of my pocket, put $3,400 from my old lease into my bank account? Why would I want to go from doing that to buying a used car, which is buying a 3-year-old Mazda, which is what you're suggesting when you say, should I buy it and keep it? What about that deal makes it better? If you figure this, Your buyout's 18. What's the payment on $18,000 plus taxes? 20 grand, 21 grand. What's the payment? $400 a month for 5 years. So why would I go and buy a 3-year-old used Mazda for $400 a month when I could go and I could lease a brand new Mazda for $400 a month and then turn around and, again, if you're not buying this car to keep another 8 years, it makes no sense to buy a used car right now. It makes zero financial sense. Not only that, you're gonna spend the same amount of money over the years that you could have drove brand new leases for. There's no benefit. There's no benefit. This is what it is. We've seen this thousands of times over the years, hundreds at least. You know, I know it's happening thousands of times. People are buying their leases every day. They're not realizing they're just buying a used car. That's all you're doing. So I go from leasing to buying a used car, which means something in me has to change. Those of you who are buying used cars, you should be buying them to keep 8, 9, 10, 12 years. Not 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You're driving old cars for the same prices you could be driving brand new leases for. Same prices. So why would I drive a bunch of older cars, 5, 6, 7-year-old cars? By the time I pay it off, it's 10 years old, 11. Why would I do that if I could be driving brand new cars for the same prices? So it's important for you to understand. That's why this is the first step in my process is we got to know, should we buy or lease? And the only people who should be buying are 8+ year people. The goal is to keep the car 8 or more years. Then we're going to buy it. Yep. I'm here. I see you. You know, I always butcher your name, but let me just call you EP. EP, I see you. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. We got a couple more minutes. We're on here for a couple more minutes. How do you negotiate a purchase online? Looking at a car 3 hours away and I'm not able to go in person. So what I would do, if you've done all the research to make sure that car is a great below market price, if that's a below market price, then what I would do is I would call and verify that there's no fake fees that are not online. So when you see a car that has a $28,000 price, we're going to call and make sure that what the fees are. Should only be tax, title, documentation fee. Tax, motor vehicle fees, and documentation fee should be the only prices, only fees. And once I verify that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home. I'm going to get out there immediately, and I'm going to see the car. And if it's a great price where I'm saving $2,000-3,000 above below the market value on those cars, then I'll go out there and I'll make sure that I post up in a motel for one day, because you never want to go out there and take the car immediately, because unless you're paying cash. If you are paying cash, that's different. But if you're getting a loan, we need at least one day to do our bank bidding process. Because you could go out there and say, all right, now this is the best price on a used car. Yeah, but now I'm going to pay 2 points, 3 points more in interest, letting the dealer get me the loan. So I'm essentially giving that $2,500 or $3,000 that I saved right back to the bank. I'm not giving it to the dealer, but whoever the bank is. So we always need one day to come home, let banks and credit unions bid so we can get the lowest interest rate. And then we call that dealer and we let them bid against it. But that depends on how you're going to pay. But that's the process. You get out there, you test drive the car. That's why all of our used car research is done from home. All of our used car research is done from home. By the time we get to the dealer, the only thing we're doing is going there to test drive the car and lock up the deal. The prices we've already verified is the lowest prices in the market. So once we verify there's no bogus fees, that's our process for wrapping up the deal. That's right, man. You know I'm always watching and unlearning and relearning, boss man. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, EP. Always a pleasure. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Yeah, some of you are looking for your used cars locally. There's no way you're getting the best prices. If some of you are looking for your used cars 25 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles, there's no way you are getting you're getting below market prices. That's just not enough inventory to look at for you to see, Oftentimes, it's literally a dealer that's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours away who may not be in the city. They don't have the traffic that that person has, and oftentimes they'll have a below market deal because of their particular circumstance. So if you're just shopping 10, 25, 50 miles outside of your radius, that's just not enough of a radius to get the below market deals. My brother leases up, he's over miles. Equity assessment. That's it. I just went over that about 20 minutes ago. I can't go over it again because there's people who watch the stream and it's not fair to them, but we do have this stream on replay. If you go to YouTube or if you go to my Deshone the Auto Advisor Facebook page, and you can find the section that I did only on that. Okay, it's called the equity assessment. We had another person on here that's over miles. And, once you do that equity assessment, then you want to weigh that, compare that to what the mileage penalty is. Because some people, the mileage penalty is only going to be $750, $1,000, $1,500. You could have that rolled into your next lease offer. What you do is just negotiate your best lease offer and then say, hey, look, I need you to cut a check for, $1,500 to my old lease company. Now that's going to raise your payment. So if I got a below market deal, let's say, give you an example. Let me show you with a real life example. So, so Charles, let's say Charles, he gets his Hyundai Palisade, he gets it for $597 a month, but he has a mileage penalty of, $1,500 that he needs. This dealer who won his business, he needs them to pay that to his old lease. So they're going to cut a check for $1,500, but that payment, that $1,500 now goes into his new deal. So it's just like negative equity. It's going to raise your payment up, which is why we bid this out and we don't bring stuff over. We don't bring mileage penalties over until we have already found the dealer that we're going to buy our car from, because they've given us the biggest discount. But yeah, that's what you would do. And whatever the mileage penalty is, you're adding it to your next lease. So you're paying it either way is the point. You're not getting out of a mileage penalty. It's just all about and the only way you can get out of it is if you sell the car. So that is how you get out of it. Because when I sold my Jeep Grand Cherokee lease, I was over miles by probably, I think I had 42,000 miles on it, and I contracted for like 39. But that's because I extended the lease. And when I extended the lease, I was doing more driving, and I just said, I knew I had so much equity in the car, because again, that's when cars were worth literally $7,000 to $12,000 more all through the pandemic. 2020, 2021, 2022, we had people cashing out, making $8,000, $10,000, $12,000. Some of you might have saw some of our videos and used what we were teaching there. So once you do that, that's the only way you get out of a mileage penalty is you sell the vehicle, and then it's all whole. But if you're not doing that, that mileage penalty is going to be paid. It's just what I just told you is a way to get the deal done without having to pay the mileage penalty out of your pocket. You're rolling it into your next deal. All right, go ahead, Dolan. All right, y'all, this is our Tuesday 12 p.m. stream. We're on here for a few more minutes. Keep your questions coming. Try to get to as many as we can. Everything I'm teaching y'all, if you guys do not want to remember this, if you're like, Deshone, I want something where I can see step-by-step your plan, you want to go to deshonesbook.com. We got the banner on the screen. If you're watching us on TV, you can scan the QR code with your phone, and you can get my new book. It's a digital book called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships for 75% off. So you'll get it for $24. You won't pay the normal $97, but it's only for 30 minutes, okay? After 30 minutes, it's normal price. You guys that are on TikTok, you can get yours in my TikTok bio. There's a website there, as well as an Instagram, my Instagram bio. All right, get your 75% off if you don't want to get it, if you don't want to remember any of this. All right, so Guitar Jams, YouTube, what's the best price to negotiate over sticker price? For example, a car is a $26,000 sticker, but I'm only wanting to put $27,000 in cash. Is $1,000 difference enough to avoid all BS fees? See, that's a problem. See, let me show you how you're actually hurting yourself by doing this. You're not getting bids. You're not getting multiple offers. If you're looking at a new car like this, a $44,000 car, You go in and you assume what a good deal is going to be. We never assume what a good deal is going to be. We have to reveal what a good deal is by getting multiple offers from home. So we sit at home. In my way, we use the computer and we're going online and we're going to dealers' websites. I have scripts in my book. So all you're doing is copying, pasting my scripts to use this. Now, if you're doing it your way, you just want to make sure your goal, you could do it by phone. I don't care how you do it, but your goal is to get 5 offers. Because until you get 5 offers on these new cars and on these leases, you're not going to ever know what the best deal really is. Because 80% of dealers are overpriced. So when you look at something like this, if you said, okay, $44,820 car, like the one I got on the screen. If you went in there saying, well, I only want to pay $46,000 all in. Look at what she paid. She paid net $40,300. Look, this was her base price. She got $38,289. Her net price was $40,300. So if you would have went in here on this car saying, well, it's 44, look, I'll give you 46,000 all in. You would literally have overpaid more than Tiffany by $6,000. Let that sink in. You can't go in feeling for the bottom, brother. You will certainly get somebody will take a vacation on you. The commission they're gonna make, well, that's probably an $8,000 profit deal to the dealer, $6,000 profit to $8,000 profit, and somebody's getting a $1,500 commission on you because you just went in. Oh, let me guess what I think a good price is going to be. Not knowing if there's any rebates on the car, not knowing anything about it. I'm just going to guess. Look, what if Sean would have went in? Look, what if Sean would have went in talking about, this truck is $73,000. I'm gonna offer them $73,000, but they gotta include all the tax, all the fees. I'll give you the asking price, but you gotta include all the tax and fees in. Look, he ended up getting with bids $57,000. He would have overpaid by $20,000, $15,000. And I'm sorry to tell you that some of you are doing it every day. You've done it on all your cars. You've overpaid, not using these strategies. And I want you to stop. You're free to do what you want to do. You want to stay in the old way. But the people that you see that are getting these deals, these people that are posting, listen, when you get a great deal, you post the deal. See, when you get a car, pay attention, y'all. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. It's very important. When you actually have strategy to get great deals, you actually post the deal. This is our private group where we post our deals. Look, people are not just happy about the car. Look, Eddie, I ended up getting multiple offers, got a Toyota Camry hybrid. This was last year when these cars were literally on fire. Look, quote, getting quotes as high as 10 grand over sticker. Look, I got $2,086 under sticker. $10,000 over sticker was his highest quote for this Toyota Camry hybrid. There are people who paid that. There are people that paid 5 grand over sticker for the same car Eddie got. There are people who paid sticker. Thought they were getting the best deal. Man, I got mine for sticker. He got his $2,086. Some of you who might see this broadcast, you might have said, you might have the same car. Deshone, wow, man, I got that same car. I paid 4 grand over sticker to get mine. Yeah, Eddie at the same time, same year, paid $2,086. Sorry to tell you, but you overpaid about 4 or 5 grand. This is real. We're not sitting up here doing this talking about hundreds. There's nothing y'all hear me talk about in these streams that had hundreds of dollars. And frankly, unless you are rich, you can't afford to lose $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 every time you buy a car. You can't afford it. This is where you're losing. So what I would tell you, Guitar Jams, is do what I just said over the last 10 minutes. Get bids. If you want the system for doing it, that's in my book. If you want to do it your way, I don't care how you do it. Just get at least 5 to 7 offers so that you can see where the best offer truly is. 8 out of 10 dealers are overpriced, and you don't know how bad they're overpriced until you get all your offers. 10 grand overpriced, 5 grand overpriced. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. Great question, though. Can you get a deal when you build your own car? Absolutely, Sherry, but you want to get those offers before you agree to buy something from anybody. So if I'm ordering a car, I'm getting 5 offers, 10 offers. I'm getting 5 to 7 offers, not 10 offers. See, in my book, I have a process called the 25 to 5, where we connect with 25 dealers online in 20 minutes. And our goal is to get 5 to 7 offers in 48 hours. So once that happens, we don't order a car until we verify the car doesn't exist in the market. See, because when you walk into a dealership or call 2 dealerships and they say, oh, we don't have that car, but we could order it for you. Now, what are you doing? You only talk to 2 dealers. What about in the 25 dealers that we talk to? What if 7 of them or 10 of them have that car? So you just talked to 2. Now they got you ordering a car. We don't order until we talk to these 25 dealers online and they tell us, hey, nobody has it, or it's only 2 out there, then we might order. But that car could be sitting right around the corner from you, or 30 minutes away from you. People could have 5 of them. An hour away from you, people got 3 more of them. But because you're just local, you think, oh, I need to order this. We don't order until all of those dealers tell us we don't have that car. And then when we send out our order request, we're getting quotes from all those dealers. So we're getting probably at least 10 offers. When we go to order, we're probably getting 10 offers because all of those dealers we've already been talking to. And any of them could order us a car. I had a young lady last year, the new BMW came out, the new BMW X4M, and she got quotes. And to order, nobody wanted to give her below sticker price. Some were higher than sticker. The person who won the bid was giving her $3,000 below sticker. But the car had a bad lease program though, so she ended up not getting it. But $3,000 below sticker. If she was purchasing that car, that would have been a ridiculous deal. Brand new BMW, new body style, $3,000 below sticker. But that's bids. And we do that in 45, 60 minutes. Before you even get home from the grocery store, we already got the bids, and we're not putting in 60 to 90 minutes to get this done. So my process is not just money, it's time. I don't want to spend more than 60 minutes to get a car. And I could get any car, any price. All of these people that you're seeing, Danielle, Kimberly, Bonita, all these people right here, Charles, they could get that Zafrina, they could get these cars, they could get these same deals that y'all seeing, and they're probably 90 minutes. Some of them might be 60 minutes because it was their first time, second time, some of them. Second time you get it, you're probably 60 minutes because it's a repetitive process. Getting a car, getting these bids is so repetitive, you'll see. This is what I should have been doing years ago. I don't know why. So easy. All right, go ahead, Dola. Shoot the next one in. What's up, Sus? Ralph Morales. K. Michelle, I see you. That's not the K. Michelle, I know. What's up, John? I see you. Steps if the lease has a third-party restriction. So if the lease has a third-party restriction, we're going to get bids from whatever dealerships make the car. So if there's a Nissan and I have equity, if I have $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 in equity, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call and I'm going to get bids from the local dealers, because a third-party restriction means that it doesn't mean you can't sell the car. It means you could only sell to a local dealer who makes the car. So we still get bids. We get 3 to 5 offers from used car managers. And whoever makes us the best offer gets the car. And then they'll cut us the check for any equity that's in the car. But we always need to get the offers online, because that's going to tell us if we should even be pursuing. If we don't have any equity, or it's at a break even online, there's no reason for us we don't have any equity in the car. We're just going to return the lease. But the process of doing this is to prevent what a lot of people have done. You dropped off your car 2020, 2021, 2022 at a dealership. If you dropped your old lease off and you didn't do an equity assessment, chances are you gave up a lot of money. And some of you are like, well, Deshone, I did that. I gave them back my old car, but then they gave me a great deal on a new one. You have no idea how much equity they used out of that car or how much they kept. It was, like I said, my mother had $10,200 in equity. She could have literally, they could have gave her, if we would have went into a dealer, they might have gave her 4,000 of the equity and kept 4,000 if we were lucky. So, doing an equity assessment before the lease in process is to prevent giving away any equity when we drop off our lease. All right, go ahead, Dolan. This is our Tuesday, May 7th live show, 12 p.m. If you don't see the banner above me, that means we're live. So you can type your question. Dolan will bring them in. We got another couple minutes. Hey, Deshone, currently in talks with dealers for a good offer. Thanks for all your help. Great. I feel empowered and confident I'll get the best price. Get the book, everybody. Stop leaving money on the table. Thank you, Nico Smooth. See, it's empowerment. It's the only way to feel empowered. You are not going to feel empowered going and negotiating with a car salesman. Anytime you're working with us, it's already set up for you to leave not able to guarantee you got the best deal. Nico Smooth, he's going to guarantee it. I don't know if that's a woman or man, but they're going to guarantee it because they're getting offers. They're getting offers. If you went in, if you had to buy a 100-inch TV, and you just went out right now in the first store you found that had one, you just paid it. Or you looked and said, man, I think that's a good price. 100-inch, man, that's only, $900. I feel like that's a great price. Meanwhile, you didn't look on Amazon. Amazon had a better brand for, $200, $300 less. Or Amazon had the same brand, or Walmart had a better brand for $300 less, or Best Buy. These are the same principles. It's impossible for you to go into a car dealership and get a good deal and you don't know the market. The market you only know through getting offers. Once you get the offers, you see what the best market prices are and you pick the lowest one. That's how you get the below market offer. So I'm glad, Nico. Enjoy, and definitely send us your success story, just like Tiffany did. Email me your success story when you get that offer and you close that deal out. Way to go. Go ahead, Dolan. What's up, Todd Billions? Do you need to check dealers in other states? I live in Florida. Depends. We will go with, all right, so some people will do my strategy is called the 25 to 5. We're connecting with 25 dealers online. Some people, they do it through offers. If the state is not too big, maybe their 25 dealers is all. If the state is really big, maybe the 25 dealers are all in the state. But some people, they might only have 12 dealers in their state, and so they're going cross state lines, and that's very common. That's very common. If you look at Sean posted in our group, and he said he ended up expanding his search to 150 miles outside his area to find this deal. He said, I'm going to another state to pick this up, which is something I never would have thought of before, before he attended the class. So he attended my master class. All of you who want to attend my free master class, it's called Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. You can go to my TikTok bio, and you can go to my Instagram bio. We have a comment in the comment section for you guys who are on Facebook or YouTube. But this is, the local business is going to die. When you see and you shop online the first time properly, you're going to find out that the local business is going to be dead to you unless they win the bid. And you're not going to be committed to local anymore because, look, Sean is driving to another state because his best offer, it saves him $4,000. So no other dealer near him made him the other offer. This dealer that's in another state made him, and it's $4,000 better. So literally, if he has to drive 4 hours, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, he's literally making $1,000 an hour. This is the money we talk, big money talk. So yeah, go as far as you need to get 5 to 7 offers and get the below market deals tied. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. Great question. This is Charles Harris on YouTube. How are you? Hey, Deshone, why you don't have PayPal for a payment method? Um, that's a great question. We've used PayPal probably twice since we started our company in 2021. We just found that Stripe was a better company to work with for the business. We do have, I believe we have Klarna. So for those of you who are familiar with Klarna, they'll let you break up the payments interest free. For the book or any product we sell, we make Klarna available for the last year. But PayPal is just a little different to work with. We've enjoyed working with Stripe. So hope that helps. Go ahead, Dolan. Right, we just hit the hour mark. Got a couple more. We'll try to take a couple more before we wrap. Lenice from Instagram. By the way, everybody, if you just jumped on, this is our Tuesday, May 7th, rather, 12 p.m. live. So we are live. So feel free to ask your questions. If you don't see the banner above me, then that means we're live and you can type your questions. Is purchasing a car from Enterprise Car Sales a good idea? In order for me, when we're shopping for used cars, like I have this used Infinity truck. We got it a year ago. It was 2020, so it was 3 years old. When we found that car, when I narrow it down to my top 3 to 5 used car options, they have the best title histories, the best service records, the best accident records. They're the best price in the market. They're below market. And then I verify what the brand new price was, because you can't know a car is great until you know the new car price. Because if a car was 50,000 and they're asking 30, that's different than a car that was 55,000 and they're asking 30. The $55,000 one has more value, has more equipment, more options, so it's a better value. So it's impossible to get a great deal on a used car without knowing what the original price was. So you might have picked a car that's, this one is 30,000, but again, the original price was 50. Meaning, while another one might be 31,000, it's $1,000 more, but the original price was 55 or 57. So you got to know what was in the new car price to be able to compare when we're getting. So if I narrowed it down and that Enterprise car was in that bunch, I'm not opposed to it as long as it has great service records, great accident history, great title records. But the title is going to show as a rental. So when I say great title history, you got frame damage, you got salvage titles, you got rebuilt titles, cars that have been totaled, rebuilt. You have different forms of title: personal lease, personal vehicle, corporate lease. These are all different categories of title. So if you get one that has a rental, then that price needs to be considerably less than the other cars on my list. That's the only way I would look at it. Great service records, great accident records, and then compared to the other cars in my bunch, it's got to be $2,000 less than them. $1,500, $2,000 less. So that's the only time I consider it. Go ahead, Dolan. Now, the way we shop for new cars and leases in my book, and the way I teach, is the 25 to 5 strategy. That's when we're connecting with 25 dealers online to get 5 offers, 5 to 7 offers, 25 to 5. When we shop for used cars, we're using my multiple marketplace strategy. So we're going on every marketplace that has used cars, 8 of them: CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, eBay Motors, Car Gurus, Cars.com, Carfax.com, Autotrader.com. We're going on all 8 marketplaces because these marketplaces have different prices, different inventory, and that's how we shop it, and we narrow it down from there. All right, Fo from TikTok. Best way to trade a vehicle and not be upside down. We already had 2 questions about negative equity. So what you want to do, Fo, is either go to YouTube and go to Facebook. The replays are there once we end the show. Just find somebody who had that same question. Somebody asked about replacing the car that they had negative equity on. Upside down, negative equity, same thing. Just 2 different terms. Go ahead, Dolan. Everybody getting value out of the show. If you're getting value out of the stream, type $. Type a $. If you're getting value out of the stream, type a $. All right, everybody getting value? All right, I see you. Perfect. Good. Good. I see you, John. I see you, Tracy. All right, I see you, Sterling. Yep. I see you, Charlene. I see you, EP. Perfect. Glad everybody's getting value. Charlene said, thanks for the education. I just finished the first read of your book. Now I will start the process to buy a new car following the 7 steps. Congratulations, Charlene. Way to go. Now, some people choose to go the book step by step. So the last step that Charlene just said, step 7 is delivery. So you're not really getting, some people do this. And it depends on how you learn. The book is set up in a way where everything I teach is set up in a way when y'all hear 7 steps, it's set up where if we talked on the phone, I would be saying, do this first, call me back. Do this second, call me back. Do this third. And then by the time we get to step 7, we're setting up for delivery or the pickup of the car. So some people never read the whole book. They just do 1 step at a time and they never see step 7, me congratulating them for delivery until they are at that step. Some people read the book straight through and then come back and do the steps. So whichever way you decide is up to you. The quickest way to your car, the quickest way is to just do 1 step at a time and then not read forward until you get to that step. But everyone learns different, and everybody, that's just if you want the quickest way, you want to get a car in literally 48 hours, don't read the whole book. Read 1 action step at a time, cross it off the list, and get it done. And then you'll have your car in 48, 72 hours. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. TikTok, using your book, all of these lease prices I received are too high, over 1.5%. Next step. Well, as I mentioned, once you get 5 to 7 offers, that means that car has a bad lease program. Not the brand, the car. So that Jaguar has several cars. That particular one, and it could be that trim level, has a bad lease program, in which case I always say with leases, we want to have at least 2 to 3 options because we cannot control the lease program. So whatever the dealer was, so if you see a 1.5% lease, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, then that 1.6, that dealer's beating everyone else. They're selling you the car less than everyone else. But if they're at 1.6, then that means their lease program is bad. That's why we always get 5 to 7 offers. If they're all over 1.5, that means the lease program is bad. And we do not lease cars with bad leasing programs. We go to our next choice because you'll see, literally, it's day and night. A $60,000 car could have one lease price of $900, and then you have a $65,000 car like Frena got. $65,000 vehicle, she paying $579 a month. 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Got it a little while back. So this is, lease programs make the difference. What we do is use bids to get the lowest price on the cars. We're gonna always get that. But once we can't control the lease program. So we always have 3 options. With purchasing, we don't need 3 options because once we get our bids, we're gonna just find a dealer that's gonna be the lowest. Nothing else matters. We don't need to worry about a lease program. Go ahead, Dolan. German Tink from TikTok, I see you. If our credit is not good, I feel like we don't have room to negotiate. True? No, your credit, you do. You see, again, we're mixing the loan with the price of the car we're buying. That's where you're going to overpay. Because if you have a loan, you have bad credit, the only thing that should be affected is the interest you pay on the loan. That should be between you and the bank, the lender, not between you and the dealer. So what your job to do is, if you have bad credit, the lender you get your loan from is going to tax you for it. You're going to pay higher interest than what someone with good credit would pay. But what you should not be doing is overpaying for the car because you didn't get bids. So you can get bids for your car, and then you can use a company that gets deals done, that gets people loans, even with bad credit. And you know, I use Limbuzz. I recommend Limbuzz. I don't use them. I recommend them. So you could either pay a high interest rate and get a great price on the car, or you could do what most people do. Get a bad price on the car and pay a high interest rate because they're going and they're shopping desperately. So in my process, we would get with Limbuzz, get our pre-approval with Limbuzz, and then we would go and we would shop and get bids to make sure we're finding the lowest price on the car. See, once you learn what we're doing and you start doing what I'm telling you, using what we're talking about here, you're going to see the car price is independent from the loan. You've been taught to focus on the loan, which is how much my monthly payment is going to be. Oh, am I going to not be able to negotiate? The car's price we're negotiating has nothing to do with the loan we're going to use to buy it. Okay? So everything that I taught from today, guys, is in my book. It's my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. You saw it if you were here earlier. We're rated 4.94 on Goodreads.com. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book and gave us 5-star reviews. You can get your copy in my TikTok bio for 75% off. That's $24. It'll be in your email in 2-3 minutes, in my Instagram bio. But don't let that timer run out, because then the price does go back up to $97. You can get yours for 30 minutes. And the same thing online here on YouTube, Facebook. We have the banner here. You can scan this QR code with your phone if you're watching us on TV. And this is what we do, y'all. We do these shows throughout the day. You can see on what time we'll be live. So we'll be back for the next one shortly. And make sure when you see us, you hop on and ask your questions, all right? But let's go get these deals. Shout out to everybody who's committed to unlearning and relearning. In order for you to win with what we just talked about, you have to unlearn the way you were taught to car shop. You have to unlearn that and relearn the new way. All right? God bless y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon.
The worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity.
Next 12 months, if you are car shopping now, or in the next 12 months, I want you to type a 1 in the chat as you come in. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. I do these live streams throughout the week to answer questions when it comes to car buying the new way. We've been doing this, helping people really since 2021 through education. And so we teach an entirely new way to car shop, a way that has worked for thousands of people before you. And I do these live streams so that you can ask your car shopping questions, and we can try to get you the answers that you need to help you get below market prices, which is the only thing we settle for. So thank you to the people who are tapping the screen on TikTok, running up the likes. I appreciate it. We have Dolan moderating in the back, so you guys can start typing your questions. Everything I'll be talking about is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Thank you to all who have reviewed the book on Goodreads, putting the review page up now. Thank you for helping us have pretty much a 5-star rating. And everyone, as you're watching this, you can get your copy. If you like what you're hearing, if you like this new way that you're going to hear on these streams of how to car shop, you can get your copy of my digital book for 75% off in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, or we have a banner up for you guys. Or you can go to deshonsbook.com. So no matter where you're at, that's your special offer. All right. So Dolan, you can bring the first question in. I see you, Paper Chaser. Welcome to the broadcast. I see you, Benjamin, on TikTok. I see you. First time people. Welcome to all the first time people. If you your first time here, type of 1. Mario Soto, I see you on YouTube. Welcome. This is Chris on Facebook. Hey, Deshone, are dealerships willing to order a car for you if they don't have a car with the options you want? Everyone is usually willing to order a car because every dealer can order. But you want to make sure whenever you're getting an order quote, you're getting at least 5 offers. 80% of dealers are overpriced. So you want to make sure you're always getting on a brand new car 5 offers. And then you'll see how different they are. I had somebody who, I think we're on episode 17. This is episode 17 of Car Shopping Questions and Answers. So on last episode, I spoke about a young lady who ordered a BMW when it first came out last year, the new body style new body style X4. And through bids, she saw multiple offers. Most dealers were charging her $2,000 over sticker price. But once she got her 5 offers, at least 5, she probably got set 5 to 7. Her best offer was $3,000 below sticker. So I always say when you're shopping the right way, it should be a $3,000 to $5,000 to sometimes $7,000 difference between your best offer, which is the below market offer, and your highest offer, which is, the highest of all the other offers. So that's when you know you're shopping correctly. So make sure when you're ordering, you're following that model so you can make sure you're getting your best price. And you do this right from home. You could do it by phone, or you could do it my way, which is using the dealer's computer, the dealer's websites. We do copy and paste models to get quotes directly with dealers, speaking with them on their website. So as long as you do it, that's all that matters. All right, great question. Shoot the next one up, Dolan. Let me open up my phone on Instagram. My phone battery is low, but hope. Okay. Yes, everybody. This is our Tuesday 7 p.m. live stream. So this is live. Whenever you guys don't see the banner above me, then that means we're absolutely live, and you can ask your questions. We rebroadcast these streams all through the day. So you can send your friends, family to them. But whenever you don't see the banner above me, that means we're actually live. So you can ask questions. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. This is from TikTok. I need a new truck. Any advice? Or the first thing, all right, I'm getting ready to tell you the first thing you think about when you are in your position. And this is the first thing that all of you should have thought about. If you haven't thought about this yet, you've already skipped something that is very important. The first step in my process is always to ask ourselves the most important question. Does anybody know? I know we may have a lot of new people on here, but does anybody know what the most important question is? It's probably going to take you too long to type it. So I just want to see if anybody knows what the most important question is. I'll give you guys maybe 5 to 8 seconds to chime in some answers. Can I afford it? That's a good one, but no, that's not the most important question. That comes a little later in the process. Come on, Benjamin, Charlie. Am I keeping the car 8 years? My man, way to go right there. DM me, man. I'm gonna get you a free copy of my book because I like that. All right, that's the most important question. Just DM me on TikTok. I can't read DMs, y'all. So if you actually have DM me, 99% of the time, I'm not going to see it because I have a team that helps me with my social media. So I'm not seeing DMs because we just get way too many throughout the day. But in your case, yeah, send me that. Yes, but that's the most important question because here's the thing. The first thing you want to think about is how long you're going to keep it because you're about to buy something that's going to go down in value. You're not going to get the most value out of it until after 7 years. That's when you're going to get the most value. Everything before that, who knows, you know, when I break these things out, I'm showing you the depreciation curve. And this is how your vehicle is losing value. So if you buy a new vehicle, it's losing value like this. If you buy a used vehicle, it may be losing value like this, but it's going down thousands of dollars every year. So until you keep the car long enough, some of you are just not keeping your cars long enough to win, because you're turning around and replacing your cars while it's still like this. You're still losing $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 a year, depending on the price of the car, in depreciation. Now, when you keep your car long term, you're going to beat depreciation, because eventually your car starts to, like, who has a car outside right now that's at least 8 years old? Who has a car outside right now that's at least 8 years old? Type how many years old the car is. I just want to demonstrate something, because if you skip over this, you're not going to be able to get a good deal. You can forget it. I'm telling you right now, I call this the most important question. If you get this wrong, forget about getting a good deal. It's impossible. And I'm going to explain why. This is not, if some of you are new here, I don't need to hype anything up. I love math. So I make math simple. You might not love math. I love math. And I know that when it comes to cars and buying versus leasing, it's a numbers thing. It's a math thing. And I'm telling you that if you're not going to keep your car long enough for the depreciation to level out, like you can see Chris here on Facebook, he has a car 10 years. Carlos, 10 years. Tyranny on YouTube, 10 years. Okay. Yep, I see you. Kura Cindy on Instagram, 14 years. Jeff Walkus, YouTube, 15 years. Now pay very close attention to this. You'll notice that the way the amount your car is worth today, it's going to be worth almost the same thing next year. It's going to be worth almost the same thing next year. If your car right now is worth, if it's 9 years old and it's worth $8,000, a year from now it's probably going to be worth $7,600. That's when you have beat depreciation. Tap the screen on TikTok if that makes sense. See, if your car is only losing, some of you see these answers, until you are actually keeping your car long enough. It's not about when you pay off the car. A lot of people think that that's the car is paid off. It doesn't matter. The value of the car is going down. This is why I call this the unseen expense. Depreciation is the unseen expense. And so how do we beat it? You can't replace the car in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Can't replace it. You have to replace it either after that, or if you're not going to keep it that long, you should be shopping for a lease. And I'm going to show you the numbers before we move on from this. I'm going to make this point very clear. Now, this is step 1 in my book. This is why if you don't get this step, you cannot get a great deal on a car. So Instagram, I just want to let y'all know that if you're enjoying what we're doing, there's a button that looks like a paper airplane at the bottom of the screen. If you could hit that and just quickly in 10 seconds, tap 3 friends or 1 friend, anyone, I don't care. Just invite people over, because I know they'll appreciate it. Because a lot of you guys have friends right now that are outside in dealerships getting overcharged as we speak. So when you look at long term, here's what you need to see. Look at this, and I'm gonna show you to end this question from TikTok, and why this is what I call the most important question. It's the first question: how many years am I keeping the car? Because look at this. I'm gonna use an example of this lease deal that Zafrina just got. So now, Frina she shops for a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a $65,000 truck. She got an incredible steal on this vehicle. Her payment is $579 a month on a $65,000 truck. No money down. So she did this. She got bids. You're not negotiating for these deals. So I'm just telling you, if you guys want to get these deals, you need to use what I'm teaching you. If you want to get it step by step, it's in my book, in my TikTok bio for 75% off. You won't even leave the broadcast on TikTok. You can get your book for $24 and you'll have everything I teach step by step. And same thing on Instagram, in my Instagram bio. You can get it for 75% off for 30 minutes. So I want to show you guys this. And you know what? That lease deal is too great. I don't even want to use that. Let me use something that our average people are getting no problem. Because Zafrina's lease deal was just ridiculous. $579, $65,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. From home, by the way. 60 minutes. Maybe she put in 90 minutes. It was her first time using this stuff. 90 minutes. So Danielle got $550 a month. First payment was all she gave them, so there was no money down. She got an Audi A3, $44,000 new vehicle. She's paying $550 a month. Now I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Danielle gets this sitting at home. She said, due to circumstances, because some people like Deshone, she might have had time, a lot of time to do this. You know, I need a car in like 30 days. But she said, due to circumstances out of my control, she posted this in our Facebook group. I had to lease something quickly. Yep. I took the course last weekend. Now, by the way, my book is my course. So don't think you have to get my Maps Academy to get this. My course is 7 steps in video form with coaching from me. My book is 7 steps in book form, and they're the exact same steps with the exact same scripts. So it's just how you want it. Some people like Deshone, I went with the book, like Tiffany. Other people who review, and some people do this. So it's all the same. It's just different learning. So the point is, I want to show y'all something. This is making a point here. So she got $550 a month, $44,000 car. How much is every $5,000 on a car loan, everybody? If you're looking, some of you have seen this in a video before. Every $5,000 that when you look at a car, you see it's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. How much is every $5,000 on a car loan monthly payment? Let's see if anybody's seen this. I'll give you guys another. Thank you, Nico Smooth. $100, perfect. Carlos Thomas, $100. Yes. So that is BG Meats. Yes, $100. Perfect. Perfect. Blooming Chosen One. Perfect. See, so this is why this is important for those of you who are going to purchase, not those of you who are going to lease. You need to know when you look at a car, if you see it and it says $20,000, you need to know that that is about $400 a month. $25,000 is about $500 a month, depending on the interest rate. Great interest rate, you could drop it a little lower. But average interest rate, that's what you need to be looking at. And you need to be, that assumes a 5-year loan. Because some people say, well, Deshone, if I take a 6-year loan, no, it'll be lower. But 6-year loans should be the max. See, that there's different ways to budget. If I budget $500 a month and I say, well, how much car does that get me on a loan? 25 grand. Now that's for 5 years. So if I go find a car for 25 for $500 a month for 5 years, I did better than if I got a car for $500 a month for 6 years. So there's different ways to raise your budget. I have something in my book called The Perfect Budget. I created a calculator. It walks you through what I just said. See, what I just said is very important. Knowing how much you can spend if you get a 5-year loan, and then saying, all right, if necessary, I'll go with a 6-year loan and bump myself up, but I'm still below my max budget. But I'm not going $500 a month for 6 years. Can y'all tap the screen and run the likes up on TikTok? Keep running them up if y'all getting value out of what we're doing. So we're still making a very good point here, okay? I'm spending really most of this stream going deep on the first question. And I've never done this before, so we'll see if it works. If Somebody said I have a new truck, new advice, any advice? So I went right into the most important question, which is leasing versus buying. How many years am I going to keep the car? And I'm now showing you why you cannot get a great deal on a car if you buy when you should have leased. So let's wrap this up. So we can see here, Danielle got $550 a month on an Audi, no money down. Now let's take the same vehicle and let's pretend she purchased it. She didn't know about leasing versus buying. She just listened to a bunch of people, bad advice, who say never lease a car. So she goes in, she's looking for the same Audi Q3, A3. It's her dream car. Oh, I've been wanting this for a while. So excited. So how much is this going to be? I'd like to do no money down. Okay. Well, $44,000 car. Forget the taxes. Forget everything. Let's just say, forget that. Let's say they throw that in. We'll pay the tax and everything. Let's say she just finances $45,000. What's her payment? $900. Some of you who are in the math, you would like Deshone, yeah, $900. So she drives out of there. She drives out of there paying $900 for the same car Danielle's paying $550 a month for. Now watch this. Let's just say, now I'm going to show you because I know what you're thinking. Deshone, please send my free book. Okay, I got you. DM me though. So I want to stay on topic here. All right, so let's just say some of you are like, well, Deshone, I got a great deal on my last car. I wouldn't pay the same price that Danielle could pay for. Let's say, what's an unbelievable deal on this $44,000 brand new Audi? How much discount? I'm gonna let y'all decide. I'm gonna show you why there is no way for you to get a great deal when you purchase when you should have leased. We're gonna kill this. Some of you are gonna be set free right now. So let's just say, what's a great price? $44,000 brand new Audi Q4 A3. What's just a ridiculous discount? How much off? Let's say like the best deal that you could ever think on a brand new car. Look, all right, it's taking you all a while to type. We're looking. What's up? Heck, none of y'all ever saved money on a car before? Some people, oh, Deshone, I didn't think we could get discounts on cars. All right, I like that. Nico Smooth, I like that. Let's say the person got $10,000 off. Okay? They got $35,000, which is essentially, let's say they got $35,000. The car is $44,000. So let's say they got $9,000 off, which is essentially 20% off the price of the car. Just brand new, nice, popular car. They catch the dealer sleeping, getting bids from home. $10,000, $9,000 off, $35,000. That's what they're getting the car for. Put your taxes on there, because now we're already being super unrealistic. We're not gonna be ridiculously. Let's just say taxes are on there. You know what? Let's just say no. How about this? Not only did she get 20% off, they paid the taxes too. So she really got like $13,000 off. We'll pay the taxes too. Just finance $35,000 even. What's her payment? The most ridiculous new car deal we could ever imagine you've ever seen, we just went over. To show you, no matter how good this is, she still is about to lose because she's purchasing and she should be leasing. Watch this. And I'm going to tell you, when the person who purchases wins, $700. Thank you, paper chasers. Lisa, $650. Those are the estimates. Where do we win at? Imagine if I just gave y'all a ridiculously unreal situation that will never ever happen, but just to illustrate, if that ever happened, 20% off the car, pay the taxes, her payment's still higher than Danielle leasing. So when does the person who buys win? When they keep the car long enough to outlive the depreciation. Very simple. 8 years. 8 years. It's no comparison. So like you're sitting there and you're like, Deshone, I bought my last car and I've been buying cars all my life. I was just taught you buy your cars, you don't lease them, but I never keep them more than 8 years. If that's you, I want you to type a sad face. You've lost a lot of money. So what would you rather? Would you rather never hear about this, really go all your life listening to bad advice? And we might wrap this because we still got time. Before we even go back into more questions, we actually may go a little, because some of you are like, Deshone, well, what if you buy a new car, a used car? Because you just compared that to a new car. All right. So let's just go back one more time. Let's pull up Danielle's because we're on that scenario. So we already said Danielle drove out with a $550 a month lease, paid her first month's payment. Best impossible deal that'll never happen, unrealistic, made up, make-believe deal we just ran was still a higher monthly payment. So imagine with somebody who just goes in regular negotiations, maybe gets $2,000 off the list price. They're leaving paying it's people right now paying $800 a month for this car, $700 a month, easy, no money down. If they didn't put money down, some people tell you, oh, you know, well, I'm paying I got an Audi and I'm paying only $6,000 for it. Oh, they never tell you that they put $10,000 down. They never tell you that they put $10,000 down. They forget about that because the day they give the dealer $10,000, they want to forget about it. So they're definitely not going to bring it up in the story. No money down deals. This is what you're doing most times when you're leasing. So let's go back. Let's say somebody decides they're going to get a good price on a used one. Let's just throw this scenario in here real quick to end this. Instead of a $44,000 brand new one, they find one for like $28,000. Great used car price. $44,000 new. I got one for $28,000, maybe 4 years old, low miles, $36,000. Great deal, below market deal. Get it for $28,000. $28,000. Throw my taxes and fees on there. I'm at $32,000, $31,000. What's my payment? $31,600. Look what I'm buying too, because some of you that's what you think about with a used car. But I like the monthly payments. But Danielle's driving a brand new $44,000, never been titled. She's the first person to sit in this new car smell, like real new car smell. Latest and greatest options and features, full warranty. If anything breaks on the car, she's covered for 4 years. She won't lease it. She won't have the lease for more than 3 years. She's paying $550 a month. A person who's buying this same car is paying $800 a month, $900 a month. And a person who's getting a used version of this, 4 years old, 1 year left on the warranty, 3 years old, 1 year left on the warranty, and they're paying $600 a month. Everyone's paying more than her. And these are lease deals that we get all day long. Everyone's paying more than her. We can put every scenario. Only person that's not paying more than her is somebody who just drives like a 10-year-old Audi, 12-year-old Audi. They go pay cash for it, buy it from Facebook Marketplace or something like that, or people who go to the auctions and get, like a 12-year-old one. Those are the only people who could, flip cars and not lose. Everybody who's buying newer cars, is paying more than her. It's people paying $500 a month because they bought their Toyota Camry. They're paying $600. So you're paying $600. She's driving an Audi, $44,000 vehicle, no money down. You're paying $600. You're driving a Toyota Camry that you're not going to keep for more than another 2 years. Any car, replace it. Chevrolet, you could pay, Camry, Honda. You're not keeping these cars more than 8 years, and you're paying these ridiculous car payments, and you're the ones that, unfortunately, because you believe bad advice, you are not winning. You're losing. But would you rather me not tell you? God willing, you're like, man, I'm glad I'm young. I'm going to still buy more cars. Most of you are still going to buy more cars. It's good for you to find this out now rather than you never found out and you just passed it down to your family and your kids. And now They heard they don't lease. Now you got your 25-year-old. He never heard about leasing. He goes and he gets himself a $30,000 car because he got a good job. He said, all right, I could afford a $600 a month payment. He gets a $30,000 car. His payment is $600 if he put no money down, or maybe he put 10 grand down, whatever. Point is, he's paying between $400 and $600 a month for this car when he could be leasing a brand new version of that car for $350 a month. $350 a month, $600 a month. These payments are nowhere close. It's nowhere close. Depreciation is the unseen expense. So this is all step one. See what I'm saying? So when you're reading my book, you're going through leasing versions. I got a video on this, by the way. This is in my digital book. I'll link to certain videos to help you guys really understand certain concepts. But this is what we do. This is step one. Leasing versus buying is step one, because I know who was taught, be honest, never lease a car. Type me if you were taught never lease a car. You don't need a down payment, Lisa, and you don't need excellent credit. You need good credit. No down payments. I can show you right now, Lisa, on the screen. You can't see it because we rebroadcast these shows on TikTok, but you'll see it on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram because they can see the slides that I'm sharing. Like every deal that I'm gonna show, like Kimberly. Look, she got a $91,000 Maserati, $944 a month, 39-month lease. $944 a month, $91,000 Maserati. She got bids. Use what I'm teaching you in my book. She got bids. 7 competitive quotes ranging from 1% to 1.8%. That's a crazy, but she saved 20 grand on a brand new Maserati. No money down lease. Bonita, this was in the middle of the pandemic. When people were, the Kia Telluride was one of, if not the most popular SUV all through the pandemic. People were paying $800 a month, $900 a month, $1,000 a month for these Kia Tellurides. She leased one in December 2022, and she got it for $600 a month, and she gave him $600. That's all she gave him. So, ask questions. It's better to ask questions about things that you may not understand versus making statements, because when you make statements, sometimes it can mean you're not in a full posture of learning. But I do get that you're dropping. Many of you are this is a game changer for you. This is a game changer. This is a money changer for you. My goodness, my brother who I met recently over the last year, he's a neighbor of mine, and he's become a close friend. And he had a Kia Telluride, black one, just like her. Totaled it. His wife was in an accident maybe about a month ago, and totaled it. And he called me and he said he had saw the 8-year rule, and he said, I'm not keeping these cars 8 years. I'm going to lease this one. He leased a Kia Telluride, and his best offer on the same vehicle he owned was under $500 a month, no money down. It was like $479, $489. He was just paying. Remember, this was a $45,000 Kia Telluride he had. His payment on that car was probably $800-900 a month. So that's his wife totaling that car ended up being a blessing. Got him out of that car. He got the lease. He got the same car, brand new one, and he's paying $300 a month less because he has correct deal structure now. This is so important. That's why I call this the most important question in my book. And this is step one in my process, is you ask yourself the most important question. So I'm going to put the banner back up for you guys on Facebook and YouTube. You can actually go to Deshone'sBook.com. Dolan pinned a comment in the Instagram section, in the Instagram comments. Also in the Facebook and YouTube comments, we've pinned Deshone's book. You can get your copy for 75% off. It's a digital book, so it goes to your email. Make sure you check your spam and your junk folder, but it goes there. You can get it in 3-4 minutes, and you won't pay the normal $97 if you get there before the 30-minute timer goes down. Once the time expires, the price is $97, which is the normal price, and it's worth more than that. It's worth thousands. I wouldn't price it at $97 if it wasn't worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So, but you can get it for 75% off that. You can get it for $24, if you get to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio before the timer expires. But that's leasing versus buying. That's a quick comparison of leasing versus buying and how there's no way to get a great deal if you buy when you should have leased. No way. So some of you are going to be like, oh, well, I want to transition because I want to get out of my car that I'm financing and move to a lease. You should do that as soon as it makes financial sense. And that means sometimes you have too much negative equity. You can't move right now. So you may have to wait a year or 2 years before you can actually move over. I like that question M asked on YouTube just now. Do you value owning cars without payments? Can you throw that one up, M? Can you throw that one up, Dolan? Who was taught always pay cash for cars? Who was taught, type a dollar sign if you've heard or you were taught that you should always pay cash for cars. Now, I'm going to tell you, in a market like now, it's great to, all right, I see RJ Velez. Now, there's value in paying cash, and I'm going to tell you where it is, and you got to just, there's no one size fits all. See, the problem, what's been hurting you guys is because you've listened to one size fits all car buying advice. So usually whoever is giving you the advice, they're telling you to buy cars the way they buy cars. Tap the screen on TikTok if this is making sense to y'all. If y'all are following this, keep tapping the screen, running the lights up. Let me know that you're following what we're talking about. So here's what's important. If you're listening to someone who tells you pay cash for cars, buy used cars, that's because they do that. Now, if it makes sense for them, then that's great. But we need to look at paying cash. When does it make financial sense? When does it not? It's based on a couple things. First of all, what are you doing with your money? Because some people say, I don't like car payments. Type me if you don't like car payments. Who said, type that, Deshone, I want to pay cash because I don't like car payments. Can we type that? Can we dialogue on this? Car payments. Anybody? Okay. May not be that many of you right now. There are people who say this, but you don't realize that car payments, when you pay cash, all you're doing is saving up a lot of car payments. So that's all it is, unless you just win the lottery. If you get a lump sum inheritance, that's different. But if you have saved up $15,000, $20,000, $18,000, and you want to pay cash $25,000, then all you did was save up a lot of car payments, okay? Or save what could have been car payments. You can put them in a savings account and just have the car payment come out. So you can literally say, all right, I'm going to put this cash, $25,000 in a savings account, and that's where my car payment is going to come out of, so I don't spend that. If it makes more sense for me to pay cash, then I'll take the cash. And when it usually makes sense is when the rates are very high. If you can't get a rate that makes really, really, good financial sense, and I mean like we get bids for our rates. We make banks bid, we make credit unions bid, we get multiple offers in what I call the bank bidding war. You get this when you get my book too. This is actually a section I wrote. It's like, maybe it's 3 steps to it of how to get the bank bidding war. But once you get those bids, if you can't get a good rate, then it really doesn't make sense for you to pay cash. I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to borrow the money when you can pay cash for it. But there's an exception to this. What people are doing with their money is relative. So let's just say somebody is investing their money and they can get 10% on their money or 12%. Some of you are in real estate. Some of you are in good investments and businesses, investing into small, things that you can get 15, 20% returns on your money. It doesn't make financial sense. If you could get that type of return on your money, why would you want to put it into a car that's going to get you not just a low return? What's the return on a car, y'all? When you pay cash, you pay $25,000 into a car. What is the return on that? on the cash. What's the cash on cash return? Because I don't want to talk about this much because everyone's not paying cash. It's a small number of you who will, but I want you to be able to know when this is a financial conversation that if you're paying cash, you should understand this. If you got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 saved up, you're thinking about paying cash for a car, this should be an easy conversation for you to follow. Okay. All right. Actually, everybody said the return is 0. I haven't seen anyone who's correct yet because it's not. The return would be 0 if you put the 25 in and then 5 years later you came back and got your 25 out. That's a 0 return. If you put 25 into an asset and then you come back in 5 years and you should give me my 25 and they say, well, it's 5 years later, this asset is now only worth 12. What's the return on that? What's up, Big Spoon? What's the return? Not 0. It's negative. It's negative. So you wouldn't take money out of investments that are getting you 10%, 12% or more to put into something where that cash is going to be a negative return on your cash. So that's what